So a great diet is important for your dog all year round, but during allergy season, it's extremely important to keep that diet on point. Why? Because what goes in your dog is also what comes out, and that doesn't just mean poop, it also means the outcome of their health in general. So I'm going to go over a couple things that I like to add during the allergy season, just to kind of show you what we do to kind of mitigate some of those symptoms with those allergies, and to kind of explain why we add those things. Alright, for Cash's diet, this is the first three things we're going to look at. The very first one in the middle there, you can actually, it's called Native Pet. It's a great company. This is called the Daily. This is kind of like Cash's like multivitamin. It has 10 different benefits within this thing. There's a lot of stuff in there. It has taurine for heart health. A lot of great stuff in there. What we use for his probiotic and enzymes. So I know there's better brands out there. This is the stuff that works for me. Whatever works for you, it might work for you. There is better options out there, but I have found that Cash is so extremely picky as far as taste, but on top of that, his stomach just doesn't handle a lot of things. So over the time period of us doing this is what I have found to be the best. And it might change over time. I'll keep you updated with that. But what's cool about this is that Cash seems to really like it, which is awesome. It doesn't bother his stomach, and I've seen a little bit of actually help. I've only been using it for a couple weeks now, but I've actually seen a lot of positive momentum with his stomach. There's less gurgles. He seems to be sick a little less. I'm hoping it's going to kind of kick into more helping his skin coat health, but we'll see. So we'll continue to use that and see what happens. And then next over here, we have, this is the raw organic local honey. The local part is interesting. So honey is an extremely interesting, the sugar in there is all natural, so that helps with energy. You have a lot of cool stuff there. But what's really interesting about local honey, because what it is the bees have moved the pollen from your local area to made this honey. Some would suggest that the honey can actually help with allergies. It's really hard to get some established science on this because you have a lot of these pharmaceutical companies that are trying to dismantle anything that isn't pharmaceutical related, that it's going to cut into their bottom line. So it's really hard to kind of get a real clear answer on this. But at the end of the day, Cash likes it. He doesn't seem to have any issue with it. I don't know if it's going to help his allergies, but it's definitely going to add a little bit of calories to his food, and just have overall some great benefits as far as anti-inflammatory, has antibacterial, great options there. Alright, just a couple more here. So we have raw goat milk. Raw goat milk is great. It has enzymes, probiotics, it has protein. Cash seems to like it. It's a little gross, but he really likes it. You know, dogs, they're funny. But we add just maybe 2 tablespoons a day to his food. If he has too much, he has upset stomach, so we don't go too crazy with that. But those probiotics are fantastic for his gut health, which ultimately play into his regular health. And then next to that, you can actually see the extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is extremely interesting. So extra virgin olive oil actually can help with cell health within your body. So when we take on all these nutrients and we're hoping to get healthy from these nutrients, what could happen if we do not have healthy cells is that nutrition just goes straight out the back door, straight to the waste. Wasted, just gone. So it's very important to keep our cells healthy. Also has benefits of adding a little extra calories. So if we're trying to add a little bit of weight, like we are to Cash, it has a lot of extra flavor quality. So Cash really seems to like the flavor. So just by adding those 2 tablespoons, it will ensure him eating his whole dish, which is something we have had problems with his whole life, right? So it's fantastic. It has other properties that's going to help with skin and coat, which is going to help with those allergies that we're talking about. And least but not last, and yes, I said it that way on purpose, organic coconut oil can help even moisturize the skin and fur so that those cracks aren't going to happen as much, so that when you do have those hot spots, they're not going to crack and bleed. So it's a fantastic. I love coconut oil. It's fantastic. There's other properties as well that it's good for, but we're not going to go in that in this video. But yeah, these are all just different options that we have to add to your dog's food. One thing. All right. So one last thing regarding their diet. The best thing you can do during allergy season to help your dog mitigate those symptoms is actually hydrating them. So most dogs in the United States, about 80% are dehydrated at all times. It's called canine dehydration. It's actually huge. It's a huge deal. But during allergy season, it's so important because what happens is that when we're giving all our dogs all these nutrients, we have to make sure that their cells in their body are strong and healthy. And how you do that is hydration. So when people say, you gotta stay hydrated, get your fluids, what does that mean? No one ever talks about that. But what it means is that we are filled with millions of cells in our body. The cell is our foundation of our body, right? So dogs are the same way. To keep those cells healthy, we have to stay hydrated. That's what a healthy cell is. It's a hydrated cell, which is extremely interesting because I didn't learn about this in school. Did you? Exactly, right? So when they say stay hydrated, get your fluids, what they're saying is to make sure your cells are strong and healthy so that when we do take in this food and this nutrients, we can actually take these in and be healthy. Same thing with your dog. So if your dog is not hydrated, none of this stuff matters. So make sure your dog's hydrated. One of the things you can do is add bone broth or water to your dog's food bowl. So whatever you put in there, whether it's fresh food, raw food, or anything, bone broth is huge. It has collagen, great protein. For Cash, it's a huge incentive program. But he might not even look at it. But when you put bone broth in there, he knows it's in there, and he's going to look it up. And one of the reasons why we do this is that dogs are not open source drinkers. They do not prefer to drink from a water bowl, even though that's kind of what we see in the movies and the commercials and everything. So it's a huge deal, canine dehydration. So, I mean, as much as you can encourage that dog to drink some water, it's going to help their health insane amounts. So, hope that helped. What are you doing in there? Are you chewing on your paw? Are you chewing on your paw in there? You got allergies?